Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family. Welcome to the Mental House. Um, with me, your host, Khadija. I'd like to ask a question this morning. And, actually, if I didn't say it before, whatever side of the diaspora that you are on, let me thank you first and foremost for listening, okay? For just being out there and us having a chance to provoke thought with one another. I appreciate that. Appreciate the opportunity to do that every time. And again, I thank you for being out there. So let me ask this question. And it's very important on so many levels, okay? Because I really want to ponder some thought today. Do you think white does white supremacy help create mental illness? Does white privilege create help to create mental illness, or does mental illness create white supremacy? Hmm. I remember doing a video a couple years back, and I talked about the all the institutions that we have to deal with in these United States of America. I talked about how they gaslight us and how they are really just infrastructure for a white supremacist society. Okay, so to validate what I what I'm saying, or even asking, is I want you to listen to this reporter who hates China, and I want you to get how deep the madness goes, because here is a U.S. reporter hating on China in Africa. I mean, because she's upset because it seems like China is buying up a lot of Africa, in cahoots with a lot of Africans, and they are having a relationship that is not just predicated on "I'm gonna take your shit." And so she's in a position where she's questioning the West and their relationship with China, since China is just really got a foothold in Africa. Okay? So, I want you to hear this, and I want you to hear it good. This is why I say supremacy is a mental illness, in my opinion. Let's go.
In Africa, they're lending money to countries to build ports and different
To build what?
Port
What's wrong with that?
And well, because
Countries that need ports get ports.
but they're making people dependent on. I mean, I know it's the same thing that we've done, which is
No, it's not.
horrible around the world.
They are far more humanistic than the United States ever was.
Really.
Welcome to Candid Africa.
Okay, Candid Africa, I appreciate it. Did you hear what she said? She said, really? Because the brother said, the white guy said, hey, listen, the Chinese have been far more humanistic in dealing with Africa than the United States have. United States have a spirit of, I'm coming to rob you. They gangsters. They hijack you. They cut off your hands. They bring violence in order to get what they want. And they gaslight, and they just really show severe signs of mental illness. And unless they can have a prolonged, consistent, deprogramming, ongoing, then white folks, I'm gonna have to say it, they're mentally ill in the worst kind of way. In the worst kind of way. So let's continue.
I'm been very concerned lately about China. They are now all over Africa, buying things and investing over there and getting those countries dependent on them and supporting, non-democratic people. And I'm just
Like
wondering,
whom?
well,
We are in a country that supports Saudi Arabia.
yes, that's
Yeah?
true. Right. So
So suddenly we have a problem with, superpowers supporting non-democratic people.
yes, yes, I do. They're in Africa. They're lending money to countries to build ports and different
To
infrastructure.
build what?
Port
And what's wrong
harbors.
with that?
And well, because
Countries that need ports get ports.
but they're making people dependent on. I know it's the same thing that we've done, which is
No, it's not.
horrible around the world.
They are far more humanistic than the United States ever was.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely.
Great. So
Let me give you an example. Of course, they are peddling for influence.
yeah.
Yeah, but they are non-interventionist. Absolutely non-interventionist in a way that Europeans, the West, has never managed to fathom. When it comes to the influence of China outside its borders, I have to say, firstly, it's quite remarkable that they don't seem to have any military ambitions. Secondly, Africa. I'll give you an example, a specific example. Ethiopia. 2004, because it happened to be there, and I have some first-hand experience of it. They went into Ethiopia. I'll tell you why they went into Ethiopia, because they suspected there was oil. Because China is a...
Yeah, that's true. It's a major player, right?
Y'all are always asking.
My, I can finish that because y'all know China is a major player.
resources. Now, instead of going into Africa with troops, colonially, destroying the country, killing people like the West has done for the last 100 years, what they did was they went to Addis Ababa and they said to the government, we would like, we can see you have problems with your infrastructure, we would like to build some new airports, upgrade your railway system, create a telephone system, and rebuild your roads. And we'll do this all for free. No strings attached. We don't want anything from you. And they did. Why did they do it? Because it's soft power. Because because they knew that if oil is discovered, and it was discovered later, then, of course, the Ethiopian government will be much more open to Chinese oil companies coming there. They have never combined their investment with imperialistic. Can you imagine if that was a German company or an American company? That's why I'm saying I don't think you should worry.
Okay, I won't.
There we have it.
You see there? So what he's saying is, and he had to shut her up because an idea, a mindset of an imperialist or colonizer is not to negotiate or is not to say, hey, can we work together? The mindset of a colonizer is to subdue you, is to force you, is to take from you, and or set up such unbelievable dynamics, agreements with you in terms of baking or in terms of just how you do business, that they're taking advantage of the people and stealing, which is a hallmark, their resources. Never giving anything back, just take, 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 take. And so this old way of governing, this old way of doing business in Africa and really gonna be at home is a problem. this way, this weird way that they think they're going to continue to have respect, thinking that they can go and bully people all over the world and here too, at home and abroad, is really going to be a problem because that can't be sustained. That cannot be sustained. You know, and not just that. I'm not that was crazy enough. But the second one I want to share with you is when you can't handle the truth, and it's almost like when we listen to Robin DiAngelo, when you not haven't been able to deal with yourself and uh, um been given false narratives about your existence, it makes it real difficult to have a conversation because again, it is this borderline on psychotic, severe psychosis. Okay, so check out brother Muhammad. I think it's what is his name? Quanell X or Quanell Muhammad. Check this out, y'all.
We will finally evict all of these illegal aliens that are coming here and stealing jobs from Americans. If you break into my house, should I just accept you because you washed my dishes and made my beds? I say no. I say you need to go back and come back in the right way.
So is that what the Indians should have told white Americans?
Absolutely. Ask Cochise if border control is important.
Because the original illegal alien are European white folk in America.
Agreed.
And so should the Indians stand up today and say deport all white folks back to Europe?
Well, should we learn something from their mistake? Because we are here now.
Or should you learn something from their compassion to give other people an opportunity like was given to you and your ancestors? Learn from their compassion. That's what you should learn from.
I say learn from their mistakes. Ask Geronimo if taking care of your borders is important. We need to do that now.
And I agree with Cochise, Geronimo, and Sitting Bull. Letting in the white man was the worst mistake that the Indians ever could have made. I agree with you. That was one of the greatest mistakes. Even right there in South Africa, they got a similar problem.
She was talking shit about Mexicans, and he got pissed off.
Governor Abbott's desk and has been signed by Governor Abbott. Basically, the anti-sanctuary city bill has been passed and is now law. And what that bill says is that if local law enforcement or state police view a criminal activity afoot, they make a stop on that state crime, and then they can inquire into the status of an individual's residence. Are they a lawful U.S. citizen? Are they here with a green card? Are they a permanent resident alien? Or are they here illegally without documentation? And if they are here illegally without that documentation, then the feds can get involved and then they can take it from there. I think this is a fantastic law. It is time to start enforcing the laws that are on the books instead of the state and local officials legislating from their own little tiny offices.
It's an awful law because it's nothing more than a legal way for law enforcement to racially profile Mexicans and Hispanics. This law was written into existence by Governor Abbott to specifically go after a said group of demographics here in the state of Texas. Secondly, it is awful that we want to call them illegal immigrants to the point to where if a cop does not do his job according to this law, he can be charged and arrested, and the cities can be given a $25,000 fine per day. Well, we'll put a cop in jail for not asking somebody's immigrant status, but we won't put cops in jail for shooting and killing unarmed black people.
That's not true. And
Thirdly,
this is way too far of a step. Murder is against the law.
But it's not against law when you kill black people and you're a cop. See, the problem in America in this state
What about the Dallas case where that cop was just
because
charged
there
with
was
murder?
video to show he was absolutely
You
lying.
can't make these broad
No,
statements. It's just
because
simply not
often
true.
there's video, ma'am, where we are killed by cops and nobody ever goes to jail. Ask Eric Garner's family that. Ask the family right there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Brother Alton Sterling's family.
But your
they're not
statement
getting
is not
justice.
correct,
Video don't mean
Cornell.
nothing for us.
Your
But let's get
statement's
back to
not
the
correct.
immigrants. I would say to the Hispanic and Mexican community, what you got to do now, hook up with the black community and unite in political power, because if Mexicans and black people unite in Texas, we can control the governor, we can control the lieutenant governor, and we can control politics in Texas, period. I'm saying to Latino brothers and sisters, don't fight them by yourself. If you hook up with black people and we unite, I'm telling you, we can run Texas and then pass laws to deal with those who hate us.
You're advocating for criminal activity, Cornell. These people are not here lawfully. They need to do what our ancestors did, what many Mexicans have done.
No, wait a minute.
Many, don't interrupt
Your
me.
ancestors came here illegally. Wasn't nothing legal about your ancestors.
Listen.
They came illegally and they murdered, they raped, they pillaged a whole race of people. This country, Texas, Arizona, California, belongs to Mexicans.
Cornell, get back
it was
to the
stole from them.
You
so
tell
you
me to get back to the
ancestors,
point.
they came
No,
here illegally.
you're not being fair to me here. You say stay on topic. I say, okay, we'll stay on topic. And then as soon as we start talking about illegal immigration,
ancestors.
you go back to the black issue. Let's stay on topic.
Your ancestors are the master illegal immigrants.
Give me the opportunity to respond in that, you know what, we're all Americans here. And if you are here legally, absolutely, then we need to come together and we need to pass good laws for enforcing the law.
Well, perhaps Native Americans should have passed laws against your ancestors.
Lord have mercy. It's interesting. It's interesting how they don't see themselves and who they are in terms of the human family and what they've done to the human family.
Of Americans preparing with my patriot.
And what they've done to the human family. The Chinese knew how to bend steel. How to mess with gunpowder and make fireworks for thousands of years, and never thought about, harming on a major scale. They just knew how to make fireworks, and that was the expertise. Black man know how to bend steel from African days. The African culture knew how to bend steel, but never did they think, let's put this together and create a gun and then go and terrorize the whole world and steal their shit because we got a gun and all they got is spears. And then they call you savage. You got to remember that now. So it's master gaslighting going on. And the minute you realize that the problem is not you, it's them. And now a lot of them are starting to realize that they the problem. That's why a lot of, again, folks is sitting out. Let white folks handle white folks. Because, and until they, I personally don't think it can be rectified. I think it's ingrained. However, if you have enough to that are doing the ongoing, consistent deprogramming work, then you can find a space in humanity with them. The sons and daughters of John Brown or Viola Liuso or, just Schwerner and people who had a spirit of wanting to fight injustice, who are willing to give their lives as well. Father Grappi. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is arrogance and having a supremacist mindset. Is it a mental illness? When you walk around here thinking you better than everybody, and everybody should take second fiddle to you, and the way you tell it, and the way you see it, and the way you want it is the way it is, and everything else that needs to be rejected. Because if you don't tell it the way you see it and want it, you'll burn the books. You'll throw them in the garbage. You'll say it never existed, therefore this is how it is. What kind of mindset is that? And then you have been given the authority to put other people in lockups for being mentally ill. when that whole hypocritical supremacist system needs to be in the mental institution. Because the people that perpetuate it and the people who have been taught to uh, 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 be in this, it's not a lot of their faults, but they don't know how to get out of it. But they have to learn. It's like you playing cards. You're not responsible for the hand you dealt, but you got to play it. But this arrogance and pompousness is amazing to me. And that's at the core and the root of the madness. It really is. And for you to be sitting in South Africa, a place that you wasn't placed there. Actually, you were placed in Europe. And you went from Europe over to Africa and colonized people. And then you have a history of that. But then somehow you can't deal with that. And because you can't deal with that, the whole world has to suffer. I tell you, boy, that's some craziness show enough. Anyway, if you like what you hear, please like, subscribe, and share. Even if you don't like what you hear, put a don't like sign up there. I don't mind. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.